Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this episode of the Dan Dawson Show. So in this episode, I've seen something recurring on Facebook. And I know what you're going to say. There's a lot of stuff. There's been so much news going on. And me now running these businesses, I just haven't had time to get on here and talk about what I want to talk about. But I saw this rotate through and I linked it back to something. I want you to think about this, right? So today, Texas Governor Greg Abbott announced that he's going to lift the mask mandates and allow 100% opening of restaurants and businesses, which if you want to save your economy is what you should do. And Texas is a fairly independent state. What I've seen is, and this goes back to, I always talk about the legacy of slavery. Because whether or not people want to believe it, there is a legacy of slavery. We can't deny it ever existed. You can't deny that it actually impacted black people. It did. Because even in our thinking today. So I haven't seen any complaints from white people, even elderly white people on my Facebook, who are up there in age. I haven't seen any complaints from them, and they seem pretty happy about it. It's the black people. I wonder if this is what it was like when on June 19th, blacks were freed in Texas. So many of them had been told, slaves were freed in Texas. And so many of them had been told that now you're free. Do what you want to do. And they didn't know what to do. You've been handed a freedom back. He's not saying you can't wear a mask. He's not saying you have to go in a crowded store. He's saying it's your option. That's called freedom. And so many Southern black people are conditioned to think with a slave mentality. I mean, let's just be honest. You could talk about white privilege and everything you want to. The real problem is with the black community. See, we're afraid to start our own businesses and go out on our own. I remember when I went out on my own. The old lady was like, well, what if it doesn't work? And blah, blah, blah. It's like, I don't care if I fail. I'll do something else. But I'm going to own me. Now, see, that's a spark that most black people just don't have. And it's a legacy of slavery. And the scary part about it, this is why so many of them flock to the Democrats. Because the Democrats are very authoritative. They're going to tell you what to do from the time you wake up to the time you go to bed. And black people flock to that. Because they want to be told what to do. They want a guaranteed income. That's why so many of us work for other people and don't work for ourselves. So you wonder why there's so few black businesses? Because every once in a while, a black man comes around and says, hey, I'm going to start my own thing, or they luck into it. And then they have to do it. But the majority of blacks don't want that freedom. See, not only do they not want that freedom for themselves, and I want to say it was Will Smith that said this. It might have been one of the older black actors. He played God in that movie with Jim Carrey, Morgan Freeman. Black people are like, I'm not going to attribute this to either one of them because I'm not sure. But black people are like crabs in a bucket. One tries to get out, everybody else pulls him back down. That's why if you go on my Facebook, you got one time to say anything negative about what I'm doing. I defriend you. I won't take your phone calls. I block you. I don't need that around me. Energy is a real thing, people. Energy is a real thing. And the black community is filled with failure energy. Failure energy. That's why there's so few black entrepreneurs. So few of us. And it's that culture thing. And you'll notice that the ones who break away from the culture, they may reach back and identify a little with the culture, but on a day-to-day basis, they tend to stay away from the culture. Because they realize what that culture is about. It's about stopping you from doing things. It's about those crabs reaching up and pulling you back down. And that's what's happening right now. Because not only are they afraid to have freedom, they are afraid that you might have freedom. not to wear a mask, to buy an AR-15 if you want to, even though you're a law-abiding citizen. So they want these mandates, these laws. They need that. How do I say? They need that. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. But I got to say it. They need that discipline in their lives. That they're going to be told when to go, where to go, and how to go there. Like cattle, like sheep. I didn't want to say it, but I had to say it. So that's what's going down right now with the mask mandates. Because the only people I see concerned about it are black people. Oh, no, we're not being told what to do. What? You're not telling that guy what to do? You're not telling him he can't buy an AR-15? What? You're not telling him what he can and can't say? What, massa? What, massa? Ridiculous. It hurts my heart to have to make this video. But this video needs to be made because people have to see what's going on. It's ridiculous. So all you strong, independent, and I'm saying it mostly from black women, all you strong, independent black women that come up talking that bullshit about you're black and you're strong and you're independent and you're a woman, to black men, miss me with that bullshit. Because push is coming to shove and you fold like an accordion. Get out of here with that bullshit. So I just wanted to catch you up, let you know what's on my mind. That really struck me. And as you can see. And so just so you're clear, everybody's clear. If anybody wants to comment on this video, then come on and debate me. We'll do a Facebook Live. I'll Zoom it. No editing, no nothing. We'll just discuss it. If you're a black woman and you're mad, sorry, it's the truth. It's the truth. Sorry. Whew. Glad I got that off my chest. As always, like, subscribe, share, and always remember, do what you got to do.